Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. And you also know it's Mystery Nail Art Day. We gotta get us some cards, but we are not choosing length and shape per se. We've got these on, but we have one and the other. And I don't really have a preference which one we use. So if we get square or coffin, we're doing this hand. If we get stiletto or almond, we're doing this hand. And that's how we'll determine that. And as you know, we need 4 cards. So let's get these puppies shuffled up. Okay, so accent. We will have airbrush. I'm gonna zoom this back in. I mean, I can work with it. I do have an airbrush. Okay. Colors, don't do me dirty. Reds and browns. It's not really what I would have preferred. I would not have chosen that for myself. Yeah, that helps with that glare. That's better. Airbrush, reds and browns, a little bit of like a pinky peach. Blah. All right, we don't need another color. Let's see what our theme is gonna be. Probably something crazy. Trippy. Okay, let me get my face out of here 1 second. We need that space. And we don't need another theme, we don't need another color, we don't need another accent. We don't need a length. Shape. The moment of truth. We're not doing duck nails. I really need to stop letting that be a part of this. It's not one of the options we have on our hands. Treasure. We can do treasure. Silver. Okay. We'll have to use silver to do some trippy nails. Now, everybody knows trippy means hippie and aliens. In red and browns, utilizing the airbrush. So, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of theorizing. I'm gonna think about it. And I'm gonna come back. Fortunately, I can use whichever hand makes the most sense. But I'll be right back. Okay. I've gathered some polishes. I've got a couple of stamping plates. I have my airbrush. And I have an idea. So I think we're ready to get started. The first step to any nail art set is getting your base color put down. So let's do that. As you may have noticed, we are doing the shaky hands this morning. It is morning currently, and I am consuming caffeine. Okay, so that's the colors that we're starting with. These need to dry. Luckily, they're super opaque because they're stamping polishes, so we won't have to do a second coat. But we will have to top coat them in. Ooh, I missed a little bit. There we go. We will have to top coat them in though before we go in with our stamps, so that if we mess up, we don't ruin all this. But I will be back when these are dry and top coated. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the stamps and get them painted because they need to be colored in. Okay, I've got these ready to put on 3 nails, and then I'm actually gonna put this one on top of one of these. And I've got my airbrush picked out. I'm gonna do a little optical pattern with this. But first we're gonna put on the nail stamps so that we can get that part settling down. I've got this sticky base coat These have had a good amount of time to dry, which is great. Let's start with the pinky. You don't want to give it too much time, but about 30 seconds. And then I use my little finger just to touch the edge to check the tackiness. You want it to be still tacky, but almost dry so that it's not slippery. So let's actually, I'm gonna put my finger on here to give it a little bit of something to push against. Let's get this applied. I'm gonna have to look at it, so just pardon me. All right, we were able to get it down the sides. Now it is a little tiny bit short, but that's okay. And we'll clean up this excess off of the edges. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then I'll go in with a cleanup brush at the end and get it neatened up where I feel like it may need it. Like I think just a tiny bit on these bits might do it some good, but we can wait till we get all of the ones on. So let's do the next one. All right. I'm gonna try and do this one. I'm gonna try and stretch it down. I don't know if it's gonna cover the nail completely, but we'll figure it out. Nope, it did not. That is okay. So this is the one that I'm actually gonna be adding this to, and so that will be helpful to go ahead and just blend that difference in, but I'm gonna wait a minute before I put that one on there. That way this has the time to get dried down. One more, let's let this one dry a moment. I decided to go ahead and paint the end of this one black so that it makes it more blended. Let's get this guy put on here. I might do the same with this one because it's got a little bit that's not covered at the end, but since black is used to make the lines, I think it kind of just makes it look like it's supposed to be that way, like it's a thick line. Okay, let me zoom in. So here's what we've got going so far. I think it looks pretty cool, actually. What do you think? I don't know if I should seal this in and then redo the sticky, or just go ahead and stick it on there, because I feel like it's not gonna stick here, but it would here because this is still fresh. I think it would be wise to just go ahead and seal it in. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some aqua topper on these three so they can get started on drying, because two of them we're not gonna do anything else to. Okay, while that's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the cuticles, and by the time this is dry and we're ready for the next part, the cuticles will be ready, and so I'll be right back. I think we can do our next bit of this sticky base coat so we can get that last stamp put on. It's probably gonna turn this nail foggy for a bit because aqua topper does that. Yeah, you can see it fogging up. But as it dries, that will clear. All right, let's get this added. Gosh, I'm gonna take the stamper off of this thing because you just cannot see through that plate that it has. Oh crap. It slid. I didn't wait long enough. Even my leaf ain't sticking because I ain't getting no sticky base coat over there. Well, kind of in line. I did not really want it to be that high. Luckily, with the background being so wild, you can't hardly see what's going on. Sometimes they just don't do what you want them to. Okay, so on to the next part. Now we need to mix up some paint for the airbrush. I like to do 50% acetone, 50% alcohol. We only need a little bit. And then our paint, I'm gonna go with this one. That's the one I want to do. I'm just gonna use this dotting tool to stir this up. Let's get this loaded in here. I'm gonna try and pour it quickly so I don't pour it everywhere. Alright. It filled it up quite a bit, but that's alright. Get the lid on. Okay, so I have this paper towel with a hole in it, but we need to prime our gun. It is charged, so we turn it on. Okay, yeah, so you can see that it comes out, so perfect. Turn that off for a second. And start with this finger. I'm gonna try and hold this so that you can see it. Let me zoom it in. Alright, I think that's about clear. And I'm gonna just kinda this side. Oh yeah, I can see it kinda as you turn it, get more faded. I think it looks good. Alright, let's get that one out. Now we need to do the thumb. And I am just barely pulling the trigger back. I don't want to spray too much. Alright, that one looks good too. Let's pull that out without messing it up. So now we just need to wait a minute while these dry, because then we're going to put some tape across it and do the other side. I think this one I actually want to do a little bit more. There we go. I didn't feel like it was going across enough. And then we can just clean all this up with acetone. So I had to wipe that off because I messed up. I forgot. I was supposed to cover up parts of the nail because I only want the half on one part, and then the other side we're gonna do the other half. And so we don't need it to be everywhere. So I wiped it off. We're gonna try again. That's good, right? Does it go over enough? I think so, because I can see it making it to the middle here on this paint, or tape. All right, this one. The great thing about this alcohol acetone mixture is it dries really quickly. So the liquid, like you'll see it evaporate, but it leaves the paint behind. So it doesn't take an incredible amount of time to get the existing sprayed on paint to dry. Like you can see it drying as it moves across. This one over here is already completely dry. I have to peel off this tape now and cover the parts that are currently exposed so that we can spray the other side. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got the tape swapped so we can do this other side. So we sprayed this side a moment ago. Now we want to come in over here. Yes. And the thumb. Okay. And then same thing. We're just waiting for those to dry. Let's peel it off and do the big reveal. The tape kind of speckled this bit, unfortunately, but I think it still looks good. Y'all remember when this was like the trend, the thing to do? It's a optical illusion. Nope, looks like that one came out really well. I like it. What do you guys think? It's good. Now, we are gonna want to smudge-free aqua topper these as well so that it doesn't just get smeared and ruined. Let's go ahead and put that on real quick. We'll clean up the skin after. Okay, I'll be back in a moment when that's dry. So that's dry enough. We're gonna go ahead with this Sèche Vive and top coat, like long wear style, everything. Oh, and I didn't mention that I cleaned up the red. Alright, that is looking real good. These are wet. It's gonna take a moment for them to get nice and dry. But what are you thinking? I think this looks cool. Do you think it falls under the category of trippy? I feel like it does. Like, optical illusions are trippy, and even the patterns on these stamps are kind of trippy. Like, they're the type of things you would see in a funhouse a funhouse tunnel. And then we've got this lady that's not got a head. She's growing out a flower and mushrooms. So, like, in my opinion, I would say all of those concepts are pretty trippy. And we did use the airbrush. So, do you think we've met the requirements of the cards? I think so. And I'm actually pretty okay with these. They're not half bad. I was a bit more concerned that we were going to come up with some ugly nails, because as you know, that happens. But I think it's okay. I will go ahead and slide you in a few photos here so that you can have a look while we're wrapping this up. Thank you so much for watching my video, especially if you made it to the end. If you did, leave me a trippy emoji, whatever you think that means. Definitely hit the like button if you did like this video. The algorithm thanks you, and so do I. Make sure you're subscribed so you're not missing my content when I do post it, and consider joining my channel membership. There are some fun little perks over there. Just review the options and see what those are, and if any of those are something you'd be interested in. They are members only, and I have been producing some members only content that unfortunately nobody is getting to consume because they're not signed up. So if you're interested, definitely do go ahead and sign up. Check my links. There are links for brands and discount codes in the description, and the links for these for Miss Galore, who makes these cards, will also be in the description. So if you want, you can get them as well. There's 2 decks. I don't believe they've come out with any further decks yet, but there are 2. The one that I use is level 2. It comes with a little bit more advanced techniques and stuff, but the level 1 is very beginner friendly, and it is a whole lot of fun. And there are no rules. You can pull 1 card, you can pull 10 cards, whatever you want to do. But definitely go check it out. And I do have a playlist with all of these, so you can see all of the mystery nail arts that we have been subjected to in the past. But that's really it. Again, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you're following my socials as well, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.